Brusso here again. This is lesson number 2, the 4 laws of violent attack. I would normally have recorded this, but we're going to repurpose a chunk of video. Excellent stuff. Couldn't do it better if I tried again here. So without any further ado, let's go take a look at that lesson for your self-defense plan.
About the 4 laws of attack. I think it's really important for parents to be proactive about their children's and teens and young adults' self-defense, their ability to give them a battling chance, and I'll have another video on that. But there are 4 basic stages of a violent attack that I want to talk about. The first stage is you are in the wrong place at the right time. Now, sometimes we find ourselves in cities, or all of a sudden we realize, geez, this is not a nice neighborhood, or geez, this has developed into a dangerous place. And so your situational awareness, which you need to develop, all of a sudden says, hey, I'm in the wrong place at the right time. I'm on the path of getting attacked. Rule number 2 is you have to be noticed. In other words, they're going to look at you. I mean, they can't attack you if they can't see you, obviously. And so by understanding that you are in a bad place at the right time, these steps you can do to get yourself out of it. Let me just back up. Wrong place at the right time, drive out, go someplace else, go into a store, call for help, whatever. That's how you get out of the first one. The second one is, in fact, you have to be noticed. Now, if you think about this, if you walk with confidence, if you walk with a good stride, if you get a lot of scanning and eye contact, criminals don't want to attack you. You look too well trained. This is the place where in Musashi's martial arts world, he was Japan's greatest swordsman, Musashi's Book of 5 Rings. One of his parables that he always put in there, one of his practicing principles, is paint the picture you want your opponent to see. Very key point. If you are tracking and you're getting eye contact and you're looking around and you're moving with confidence, the criminals are looking at you. They would rather pick the person who isn't as aware or looks physically able to defend themselves. They go someplace else. All right. Number 3, they have to approach you and they have to pick up a dialogue. Now, here is another place where you paint the picture you want your opponent to see. They may ask for directions. They may ask for time. They may ask for money. They may ask for, oh gosh, purchasing drugs. And all you got to do is paint the picture. Now, what picture do you think that criminal wants to see or doesn't really want to see? Well, you're an off-duty cop. Think that out. You're an undercover cop. You turn around and start asking them questions. Have you seen these bad people? Have you seen this over here? But you've got to have this awareness already kicked in. And they're going to look, completely a different direction. They're going to not want to approach you when you talk like that. Now, how do you know you're going to transfer from the conversation to the attack? And I have lots of people say, hey, they've got their defender, but the guy's yelling at them, and how do you know you don't want to start the fight? Okay, which we really never want to start a fight in most cases. Well, when the person you're talking to uses foul language typically, or demands something, and it gets inside your 3-foot rule, there's a little space around us at 3 feet, and anybody gets inside that, you get a little nervous, and for fighters, they cross from the far field to the near field attack range. And right away, you're going to get attacked if they're using foul language. So just strap in, here it comes. And again, they usually give you great gifts by grabbing a hold of you, whatever. With your defender, you can cause him the bad day very quickly. But you need to make sure you don't get in a stance. They pull a gun, don't get in a stance, you're going to get shot. Okay, it's stupid. What you want to do cleverly is navigate your way to soft targets. You want to get your hands close enough to eyeballs. You want to get your hands close enough to their groin. You want to get close enough that you could kick their knee out and they would never see it because they were stupid and closed the distance on you. You want to get close enough to take an eye out with the defender. You want to get close enough to maybe even hit them in the head, strike them in the head, break their teeth, cut across their throat, cut across a big poke and drag down the temple, cause some serious damage. But those are the basic 4 laws of self-defense. Now, let me add one piece in here. The overall strategy of martial arts and self-defense is, the first thing is, in an attack, which we're in, we want to get out of the volume of the place where the attack started, or the technique in some cases. You can sit down. By the way, when you scream, don't scream help, scream fire. People that hear that, people screaming help, they don't want to go get involved, but if there's fire, their place is going to burn down, they get involved. They call the fire department. Who usually comes to the fire department? The police. So you got the cavalry rolling if you can do that. So you get out of the volume. Volume doesn't always mean physically. It can be psychologically as well. But that's a deeper topic. Let's just talk about maybe the physical part. You can break and run. You can push them down and then run. You can trip them maybe and run. And then finally, the next piece of the puzzle is whatever they want to do to you, interrupt their pattern. There was even this one girl that was in New York City Central Square, the Central Park there, who was approached. And all these things happened to her. And at stage 3, where the dialogue was coming and it got a little more rough, she knew attack was imminent. She goes, wait a second, I know your mother. That takes this person kind of out of the volume, his own attack volume, and you're interrupting his program. Does your mother know you're doing this kind of stuff? I remember you as a child. Start a dialogue. Man, they're not going to attack somebody that knows their mother typically. If their mother's dead, that's okay. You know the sisters and the brothers, And so the guy left her alone. Another quick one of interrupting a pattern was a woman was being attacked, and she got down on all fours and started barking like a dog and trying to pee on his leg. Of all the things, do they expect that kind of behavior? Heck no, they don't. So it's a shock value. And I'll have some stories. I travel the world, and I troll to get mugged because I teach this stuff. So how to break the mugging at each particular section. I'll have a couple of stories on that everybody will enjoy. So in this, parents, hey, these are the 4 laws of attack. I might have a whole section on, like, Molly Tibbetts right now. This poor girl, 20 years old, disappears. And we as parents have to be just as proactive for the safety of our kids, not to just let them get in harm's way, but give them a fighting chance. One quick story. There was a girl who took one class in martial arts. And by the way, you don't have to take years of martial arts to be at least somewhat dangerous. It's 20 minutes with one of these things and you're very dangerous. So there are ways to shortcut this. It's very simple. So she was at the Grand Prix, a little street thing, Grand Prix that they have in Long Beach every year. She was at one of the turns way out in nowhere by a van of all places that can't be seen. If you watch the anti-carjacking thing, don't stand near vans and block. The guy jumps out and grabs her. This girl was 13 years old. The only thing she learned in that self-defense class is a hard style self-defense class. They call it a reverse punch. Boom. Okay. I don't use that. But hey, does it matter? She hit him in the nose, broke his nose. She ran. He ran. Cops got him later. Showed up at an ER with a broken nose. That's all she knew. Give your children a fighting chance, for gosh sakes. That's all I'm saying. It's coming time now with all the kidnappings, all the other stuff, and the violence and convenience stores. We're going to talk about that. You need to protect your loved ones and you with a little bit of self-defense. So consider shortcutting that issue and getting to a defender first. Although I do like the idea of backing up in other classes and things like that, but it takes a lot of skill to be in a fight and land something with any kind of force at all. That's why you don't want to take a stance. You want to navigate your hands as close as they can to an eyeball. Nobody does push-ups with their eyeballs. Poke an eyeball out, hanging down by the optical nerve, ugly thought. Attack stops immediately. Why? Because in our brain, our balance and everything is part of it's due to our eyes. One eye is looking this way, now the other eye is looking down. Immediate vertical, immediately throwing up. It is the end of that attack. So I'm Master Peter Brusso. Remember, when the bad guys come a-calling, you give them the bad day with your defender. And I'll see you on the web and on the website. Take a good look around. We're going to have a lot more of these videos.